The story begins in the year 1976. Taraji P. Henson's character, Belle, is a supervillain who is being pursued by the anti-villain league as she races across the city after stealing a map. Belle returns to her hiding place at the criminal records store after defeating the AVL agents. There, she meets the other members of her team, the Vicious Six, including Wild Knuckles, as well as Stronghold Danny Trejo, Nunchuck Lucy Lawless Svengeance Dolph Lundgren, and Jean-Claude Van Damme Alan Arkin. They examine the map and discover that it pinpoints the location of an artifact known as the Zodiac Stone. When used during the Chinese New Year, this artifact transforms its users into powerful animals. The Vicious Six flew to a remote island in search of the stone. Wild Knuckles enters the temple and discovers the Zodiac Stone, but he is ambushed by a swarm of small metal guardians as he does so. He fights them and then flees the temple, only to discover that more temple guards are pursuing him. The remaining 5 of the 6 pull Knuckles up, but then they steal the stone from him and turn the tables on him, telling him that he is too old to lead the team and that new blood is needed. They throw Knuckles into the water and then fly away. Steve Carell's character, young Gru, is 11 years old and has always wanted to be a supervillain. As a result, the other kids regard him as an oddball and avoid his company. Kevin, Bob, and Stuart arrive to pick him up, all Pierre Coffin, along with the rest of the minions. They return to Gru's house, where he discovers something that was sent to him in the mail. It's a message from Belle, because Gru applied to join the Vicious Six because he's their biggest fan and Knuckles is his favorite villain. The message's context is that Knuckles is Gru's favorite villain, or was. Gru receives an invitation from Belle to attend an audition at the criminal records store. Gru is overjoyed, believing that his time as a supervillain has finally come. He is only seen living with his unsupportive mother Marlena, played by Julie Andrews, and the rest of the minions he has hired as henchmen. He is only seen living with them. Gru informs the minions of the exciting news, and they enthusiastically rally behind their mini-boss, despite Gru's displeasure with the moniker. It has been discovered that Wild Knuckles is still alive and well, living in his mansion with 3 of his own goons, John DiMaggio, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Jimmy O. Young. He still hasn't recovered from being kicked off his own team by the Vicious Six, and now he's heard that they're looking for a new member to join them. This has left him bitter. The next day, Gru arrives at criminal records and meets a younger version of Dr. Nefario, played by Russell Brand and described as an ambitious mad scientist. He shows Gru one of his most recent inventions, a rifle that fires a sticky green hand that can grab anything. Nefario hands it to Gru before leading him through the secret passageway that leads to the Vicious Six's lair. When he finally meets them, they dismiss him as a child because Jean-Claude imagined him to be a tiny man when they were reviewing his application. As they leave, another candidate enters and tries to impress everyone with his pilot outfit, but his jetpack malfunctions, causing him to soar erratically through the air. The Vicious Six attempt to stop him, diverting their attention just as Gru discovers the Zodiac Stone hidden behind them. He steals the stone with the revolver that Nefario gave him, but the 6 of them track him down and start pursuing him. Gru tracks down the other minions and hands the stone to one of them, Otto. Gru flees on his horse, pursued by the 6 warriors. He disables Stronghold and Nun defenses, chucks, and when Belle and Svengeance grab a hold of Gru's bike, he uses the rocket to get them out as quickly as possible. Knuckles, who was present the entire time, now follows Gru around in his vehicle after witnessing everything that occurred. When Gru and the other minions return home, they wait for Otto to return from work. When he does, he presents Gru with a rock with googly eyes attached as a gift. Otto goes on to say that he went through a series of unfortunate events until he ended up at a birthday party, where he traded the stone for the pet rock that was being given away to the birthday boy. Gru is furious as a result of Otto's error, and he immediately fires all of the minion employees. He sets out on his own to find the stone, but as he walks down the street, Knuckles' goons apprehend him and force him into their van, while Kevin watches from outside the vehicle's window. He then informs the other minion workers that their mini-boss has been kidnapped. Gru is led to the location where Wild Knuckles has been hiding. Knuckles is disappointed to learn that Gru does not have the stone, which makes Gru ecstatic at the prospect of meeting his hero. He calls Gru's house, hoping to persuade his mother to pay a ransom, but Kevin answers the phone instead. Knuckles tells him that he must bring the stone to San Francisco within the next 2 days or else he will be killed. Otto, Kevin, and Stuart visit the child to whom Otto gave the stone, and Bob joins them. The child explains that he handed it over to his uncle, RZA, who is already riding away on a motorcycle. Otto and the other 3 minions pursue him on a tricycle while looking for a bus advertised to take them to San Francisco. They travel to the airport, where they disguise themselves as pilots and flight attendants in order to board the next flight. That's all, guys. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe the channel. Hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment,